because I always think it's too slow.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I look at it and I'm like, okay, look at the Six Sigma process. What they want to do is they want to evaluate all these things, and then they want to make all these, like, what are our improvements? And then, there's several models that they want to map out, and then they go and then they try to improve it, and they try to make that process better. I'm always like, okay, it's slow as garbage. Like, it's like, if it's your bottleneck, it's slow.
Yeah.
Like, you know that. So it's like, just like, your time analysis sometimes are too long. Like, they do way too many time analysis. It's like, if you identified your bottleneck, boom, knock it out. Like, you should already have the plans up and already start working on things. But I see companies sometimes, like, spend a whole month analyzing the bottleneck, and then they start their process of improvements. And I'm like, you can honestly analyze that damn thing, like, in a company tour. I've been on company tours where I've seen bottlenecks, and I'm like, it's right there. Like, that's that. You got all this whip. You got this is not good, man. I'm like, this is where you got to focus your areas here. This machine's running too slow, or this operator's too slow, but something's wrong here. And then I can see that in a second. And it's just natural because of my running background. Yeah. It's like, I know what's going to make it faster. Yeah. And I know that that's the problem. So then I'm already coming up with ideas on how to make it faster and how to make it better. And it's just natural. So I think, like, in terms of like where endurance athletes are best at in terms of business would be COOs.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Especially when you're mapping out a race course, a Spartan race course, where the obstacles are, where you need to excel, where there could be a bottleneck. They've got that new that new monkey bar thing. That's a bottleneck section.
Yeah.
So very interesting. Just to kind of wrap it up, you talked a little bit about having disciplines and mapping out your year and training for that year, and having your peaks and valleys. And your tapers.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't understand that language. And if you're listening and you are a runner, racer, and you want to be better, I think that's a great place where they can reach out to you and what you're doing in your business. Learn what taper is and how to map out a year, right?
Yeah. Like, pretty much I do a very hands-on approach with my coaching. So I explain to the athlete what they're doing and why they're doing it. I think a lot of coaches sometimes, like, they tell an athlete to do something, and then the athlete's like, why am I doing this? And they have no answer. But I have an answer for everything that I prescribe, because everything I prescribe is based on some scientific data or experience that I've done already. And it's been proven through my performance and the performance of my athletes and through studies, and that's how I go off of my coaching.
I'm enthusiastic for your business having this conversation today, because we talk about Spartan racers being more athletic, more competitive, in better shape.
Yeah.
But, like for me, for example, I wrestled in high school and a little bit in college, and I raced cars. So I wanted to be athletic, but I don't understand the nature of running and obstacle course racing, and I didn't even know what tapering meant. Yeah. Right. So I know now, but you've got all these people that are turning into athletes organically because they're chasing that they want the trifecta.
Right. Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden they got one trifecta, they want another one.
Yeah.
So you got people becoming athletes,
mm-hmm.
and I think that you're going to provide an incredible resource for them to learn how to taper, to last a season, or to even what a season looks like. Here's what a season is. So good on you for having something that's going to solve. Not problems, but make people better in the sport.
Yeah, because I noticed that a lot of people in our sport are willing to go for help. Mm-hmm. Like I noticed, like in running, not many people want help. They don't. They're not receptive to it. They want to figure it out for themselves. And I always tell them, like, you're in for a world of hurt, because you're talking about, like, literally, like, if you want to learn all about this stuff, you're talking about, hundreds of hours of reading, research, understanding. You got to go to coaches that are smart, that know their stuff, and you got to have relationship with these coaches, and then maybe you might know what I know, but you're not even going to get close. I mean, you're talking, like, I've been doing this for more than 25 years.
Yeah,
with experienced coaches that
at
are
top level.
At a top level, my whole life. So I'm like, if you think you're going to find something in a book better than what I know,
Yeah.
you're very arrogant. So,
Yeah.
or you got a lot of time, because I'm like, there's a lot of stuff you got to know.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of pitfalls you could fall into, and a lot of things that you can think that are right. But if you were to tell me like, oh, do you think this is right? I'd be like, no, it's wrong.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's a lot of programs that are really close, but they're not 100% there. And then so that's the voids that they're not filling. They affect the performance like about 10%.
Yeah.
But I mean, most people could spitball at least a good performance, but not 100% of their capacity.
Well, and if you're listening to the show and you want to be on that podium in any age group now,
yeah.
You need every second, like what
Yeah.
we talked about. It all matters. I mean,
yeah.
It's not uncommon to lose a race by a few seconds.
Yeah,
10 seconds, 15 seconds.
Yeah, these races are getting close now.
Yeah.
Really close. One of the age group girls that I coach, she's young. She's like 14, and she did her first sprint, and she did the Kids World Championship, and then she got second there. And then, so she did her first sprint at Chino, and she ended up getting like her time would have got her 14th overall.
Oh, wow.
In the elite women's race.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. So it's just doing the right things helps you get to the goal faster.
Yeah.
If you do the right things, get them done, and then you're going to get faster quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I spent a lot of money to do the right things.
Yeah.
I didn't have the time to do all the reading. And with my coach, and it's interesting because with him, I just turned myself over to him. You know, what do you want me to do? He'll text me on my off days what I need to go do, and I just became an athlete through that, and I didn't question it.
Yeah.
But then I started having some running time with him, and then I started asking, hey, why do we do this? Why do we do that? And he started explaining tapering and all those things.
Right, right.
But, not everybody has that luxury either to pay for that level of coaching one-on-one for so long. They can go to you and learn and start a great foundation early.
Right.
And be what they need to be.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Incredible.
Well, look, we've talked a long time. I've kind of selfishly been talking to you a lot because I love what you're doing, and I love that you've turned your Spartan racing into a business, especially one that will help so many other people.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. How can people find you if they want to learn more about your business? What's your website and your Instagram handle and all that good stuff?
Yeah. My website is mgb-racing.com. And my Instagram handle is mgbracing. So at mgbracing. Yeah.
You know what? I don't want to blow this interview by not bringing up one more last thing. Your wife is a stud too, right?
Yeah, she's great. Yeah, she's doing really good. The goal for her this year is I think she's going to surprise some people at the U.S. Series. I think she's going to do really well.
Yeah. I follow her along a little bit, and it's OCR Mommy.
OCR Mommy,
OCR Mommy on her Instagram. She's a stud.
Yeah, she's great. She's great. She got third at Chino overall on both days.
Wow.
But, she's been working really hard. So last year, I think her peak mileage was like at 55 miles, and this year she's at like 72. So that extra amount of aerobic stimulus is really helping her.
When you say peak mileage, what are you referring to for all those people?
Oh, that's just how many miles you do in a week.
Yeah.
So it's just weekly mileage. So last year was at 55. This year she's at like 72, yeah.
By the way, that's like a part to full-time job to put in that many hours.
Yeah, it's I mean, she does it pretty fast.
Well, okay. She's special.
Yeah. No, I mean, generally in a day, like usually we block out like about 2 hours. 2 hours a day for running, and then there's like at least an hour in the gym, and then maybe an hour doing other stuff. So, I mean, it could be up to 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
Just working out.
6 days a week?
6 to 7.
6 to 7.
Yeah, depending on what the week is and what we're doing. There's sometimes an off day, but it's rare.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry I saved that for the very, very last, but I'm impressed by you guys as a couple and, what you stand for and who you are as people, raising kids, the success you have together. And I learned it from social media So clearly your message is the right message across the board, right?
Yeah, yeah.
To be great parents, to love each other as a couple, do things that you love together. That's what we're trying to do. So you guys are a great example of that at a top elite level, man. It's pretty incredible.
No, it helps strengthen your relationship when you're able to share something like this. It's really good. Like in the end, you've gone through the struggle together. You've gone through the training together. You've gone through the races together, and it's just for us especially, it's just been like a huge boost to our relationship. Yeah, it's really great.
Yeah, because you suffer together too.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
You suffer and you have your.
Well, you know what the other partner's going through. It's
yeah.
like, oh, my calf hurts or my head leg hurts. It's just like you know what that is. Like when I see really like couples that are like, oh, I run, but my wife doesn't touch it. I'm like, really? Like, how do you do that? How do you do that? Like that shocks me because I'm like, how do you do that when like they can't empathize with your pain?
Yeah.
They don't understand it. They're just like, I don't get it. I don't understand why you're doing that. And I've had girlfriends like that in the past, and I'm like, this is not going to work. This is just not going to work. I'm like, you don't understand any of this, and it's like that freaks me out.
Yeah. Well, and it completely works when you're together because like, hey, honey, I got to go out and get my 8 miles in. Okay, we'll see you when you're done.
Totally understanding, yeah.
And then you pass in the wind because they're like, okay, I'm going to go get my 8 in because somebody's got to watch the kids.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And this has become our life the last couple of years, but it's been awesome.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And then your meals together, you're eating healthier, like all the above.
Yeah.
What an exciting lifestyle.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, but it is exciting. Now, I've noticed that, like, I was talking to Spartan recently about renewing my pro contract, and I was like, what am I, like, I was trying to figure it out, like, why am I different from other athletes? And I started, like, mapping out, like some kind of package and thinking about, like, how am I going to market myself a little bit better than other athletes? Like, I'm, like, wrapping my mind around it. And then I'm going for a run, and I think about it, and I'm like, wait a minute, like, I am the only one that is like still working a full-time job. I'm the only one that is actually, there's a few of them that are married, but like I'm the only one that has kids. And I'm like, I started looking around and I'm like, it's funny because like what the sport was in 2012 is not what the sport is now. Back in the day, there was like a lot of guys that had families. There's a lot of guys that had kids. There's a lot of guys that had, all these things going on. All of them were working. All of them were Amelia Boone, full-time job, all this stuff. But now you look at it and you're like, okay, you look at all the racers and all the pros and you're like, they are all professional.
That's all they do.
This is all they do. This is it. This is all they do. And I'm like, do they work full-time jobs? No. Like some of them have part-time jobs. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. I am different from all these other people because I'm a full-time city worker with a family. Yeah. And there's a lot of people that resonate with me. A lot of people that understand my pain and my difficulty. Yeah. And I'm like, the other athletes, I'm like, they're all mountain men. They all live in the mountains. They all train in the mountains. I'm like, no, I'm a city guy. Yeah. I live in the city. I'm doing my thing, and I'm trying to raise a family here, and I'm trying to do it with my wife. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I am a little different.
Yeah. Well, for the sponsors out there, you should be a great candidate because you're living real life. Right. Like you said, you're raising family, you're working, and you're making it happen. So people can aspire to be that.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. They know it's possible. If they see an athlete out there like, okay, he lives in the mountains.
Atkins.
Yeah. He lives in the mountains. He trains. And that's about it. It's like that's all he does is race and train and live in the mountains. And it's like, is that my lifestyle? No. Am I ever going to change my lifestyle to be like that? No. Yeah. And I'm like, is it possible that I could be great? No, I'm not going to do that. But for me, like from what I'm doing in this sport, it's like, oh, wait a minute. I think I can do that. I can do what he's doing because it's realistic. It's actually what I'm doing right now. Yeah. Just more training. Yeah. If he could get it done, I could get it done. Yeah. And that's where the inspiration comes in. And that's where people kind of like I always say, like, why do you revere certain athletes? And it's because you can you can relate to them.
Yeah.
You understand them, and it's like, oh wow, like I can relate to that. Like that's just like me. It's like, why do they take professional baseball takes an eclectic view of all these people? Because people can